guys, it's your girl T, and I want to go ahead and shout out VH1 Access. I have a really disturbing case that's coming out of Connecticut, and basically it's about this 48-year-old man named Robert Chesters, and he was drugging his 12-year-old daughter with Benadryl so that way he could have sex with her 12-year-old friend every time she spent the night at the house. This story is sick. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a news clip, and I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
Accused of drugging one of his own children in order to have sex with her young friend. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Dennis House.
And I'm Denise DeCenzo. The disturbing details came out in court today, and we want to warn you that some of what you're about to hear is very troubling.
Quite frankly, all of it is troubling. Channel 3 New London Bureau Chief Kevin Hogan has details from the mobile newsroom in Colchester.
Kevin.
Well, Dennis and Denise, it's all right here in the arrest warrant. It was led by State Police here at Troop K in Colchester that 42-year-old Robert Chesters was having a relationship with a 12-year-old girl. Now that just lasted a few weeks until the girl's friends found out, and they told school authorities. 42-year-old Robert Chesters, a widowed father of 3, is facing possible jail time. Investigators say he had sex with a 12-year-old girl who was friends with one of his young daughters. Court papers detail how the encounter started when the girl was staying overnight at Chesters' house in August for a sleepover with his daughter. The arrest warrant reveals texts found on the girl's phone suggest giving his own daughter Benadryl to get her to sleep so he could spend time alone with her friend. On September 8th, he texted the girl, "I am so lost without you. Blank is going next weekend and blank will have Benadryl so you can lay with me comfortably and love me." The young girl's friend saw these sexually charged texts on her phone and told authorities in the middle school, who called police. The arrest warrant reveals this text on August 31st from Bob Chesters. "When we made love last night, your heart really showed through everything." Many parents in this small community are concerned tonight.
It takes a village to raise a child, and concerns for every child in this town. Yes, I'm very concerned.
Bob Chesters was arraigned Wednesday. He pleaded not guilty to first-degree sexual assault charges and risk of injury to a minor.
Honestly, I don't even know what to say. It stuns me because it's a small community and we do stick together as families in this town.
Court papers reveal Chesters apparently knew the relationship wouldn't last, texting this message at 6:53 in the morning on the day that police were closing in. "As a last resort, tell them blank will lose her dad for 10 years if they say anything. No matter what happens, I love you."
We do stick together as families.
Now, just 2 days after that text, police were called for a medical assist to Chester's house. They found him unconscious in his truck and a suicide note on the floor. Right now, he's in jail. Live at the mobile newsroom in Colchester.
All right, so you guys just watched the news clip, and while I feel bad for him because he's a widower and his wife died a year ago and he's stuck with these 3 kids, it's no excuse for him to be sleeping with a 12-year-old child. You know, what I found kind of disturbing was in the comment section of the news story, you had people defending this, like, well, you know, she's 12 years old, she must be one of them fast 12-year-olds because why wouldn't she tell somebody? Why wouldn't she tell her mom? Why was she keeping this a secret? Why was she, you know, showing out these text messages to her friend like that's cool that she's sleeping with her friend's father? What a lot of folks don't realize is when you're sexually abused by someone, sometimes you tend to think that you deserve it or that it's okay. I wouldn't be surprised if this 12-year-old girl who thought that it was okay to show her friends these text messages but wouldn't tell her parents, I wouldn't be surprised if she was sexually abused before or if she'd been having sex since the age of 10 or 11 with other grown men. Because you never know what people have been through. So when you have an adult, a lot of times predators sense that. They can sense kids who have been molested before, who kind of act older than they are, or who have been through things. They know what kids to pick out. He may have sensed that with her, and that's why he approached her and started sleeping with her. You know, but that does not negate the fact that this child is 12 years old. I don't care if she's 16. This is a 12-year-old child. Regardless, she told him, come here and come get it. She cannot consent to sex. He is a grown man, and that is his daughter's best friend. This is sick. He would not want another 48-year-old man sleeping with his daughter, so how can you think that it's okay to sleep with your daughter's friend? And the fact that he was drugging his child, giving his child Benadryl to sleep with her friend, is just disturbing all the more. And then the fact that he tried to commit suicide just tells you right there that he knows he's wrong for what he did. And I'm glad his suicide attempt failed, so that way he can go to jail for the next 20, 30 years. This is just disgusting to me. A lot of times when kids go through abuse, they just kind of internalize it and they freeze up. And then when somebody else approaches them and tries to abuse them, they don't know how to handle that. I want to say kudos to the girls who went and turned in that text message. Instead of keeping that secret and allowing your friend to continue to have sex with your other friend's father, I'm glad they turned her in. I'm glad they turned in those text messages. I'm glad they went and told an adult. Because so many times kids who are abused and molested, they're not going to say anything because you're told not to say anything. You're told that it's your fault. You're told that you deserve this. You're told all types of shit by the molester, you know what I'm saying, to the point where you just believe it. And you don't say anything, and you just clam up, and you just shut up, and you just bottle it in, and then one day when you're like in your mid-20s, the shit just erupts. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely can understand where this young girl came from. It doesn't make her fast. You know, until you've been molested and raped by somebody, you can't speak on anybody else's behalf. And I hate when I see people trying to blame the child as if it's the child's fault and not the grown adult's fault. This is not a relationship that he had with this girl. You cannot have a relationship with a 12-year-old. This was child molestation and rape all day, every day. I don't care what nobody says. This is disgusting. There's no excuse for this, and I feel so bad for the daughter. You know, to not only lose her mother a year ago, but then to find out that her father was drugging her and sleeping with her best friend. Imagine what his daughter is going through. You know, this whole situation is just ratchet and crazy. And to me, he needs to be in jail. He needs to be locked up for a very long time. Folks need to stop blaming these kids. These kids are victims. You know what I'm saying? This man was a grown man. He knew what he was doing, and now he needs to face the consequences for his actions. So anyways, go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the entire situation. All right, deuces.